So, I am Timmy, duh. The PS5 event just happened, and we all watched it, and we're super excited to be talking about it. And we're going to tell you what we think about it. This is a non-existent podcast because we're not podcasters, and we don't have a podcast, and this isn't a podcast. This
Maybe
is just
one day though.
this is just us
This is a
talking for an
pod
hour.
brace.
This is just us talking for an hour. For visual, we're gonna have Battlefront. I turned it down so you can hear us because I really don't care about playing the game. It's just so we have a video. But here with me, I have Mike and Mason to give their expert PlayStation opinions on what we just watched today.
Ooh.
I finally saw my new body.
We finally got a glimpse of what it looks like, and man, the
Do we want to talk about that first? Can we just talk about that first?
Yeah, we could talk about that first. It's the most simple thing to talk about. So they have, so at the end of the event, they showed us what it looks like. Not to mention, they showed a charging port, a camera, the controller that they had previewed before, and they showed us two different consoles, one with a disc port and another one without a disc port, the digital PlayStation 5. I think the console looks like if the Xbox 360 was slightly cooler.
That's a good one.
I can see that, yeah.
That's a good one, actually.
If it was just if they went balls to the wall and made the 360 slightly wavier, this is what it would have been. I think the white is a choice. I'm interested to see what colors it comes out in, or if they're gonna give you an option for other colors.
Oh, colors will come up eventually.
I think it'll just be
back
white
to
and black.
your
Yeah.
back to your comparison though, like it's kind of symbolic that way because we're coming off a generation where Xbox blundered, right? Like Xbox One just, they just didn't do what people expected of them during the 360 era. And now it's like Sony's coming out like, hey, we're going to take over from here. Like, we see you trying to swing back with the Series X, but like, we're going to like show you like your great era and just take it to the whole new level.
So just purely aesthetically, how do you feel about it?
I like it a lot. I think it's a bold move. I like it a lot.
Mike, what do you think about it aesthetically?
You see, the funny thing, like during the event, I was looking at the controller again, and I was like, you know what? I'm kind of like digging the controller now, the whole color scheme thing. And then now I really do actually like the white and the blue like look ish on the new system, and just the design is great too. Like I think it like I think we were saying, it really does look like a piece of art, not a square ass box.
So and that's a huge thing I wanted to point out is that they really went the complete opposite direction with it. They did not want a box. They did not want just a PC. I really, with this look, feel like they're trying to separate themselves from not only being just another computer, but also they made the point that they want to keep like generations separate. They want this to be a jump in consoles, and they want this to be a different console. This is not just going to be adding on. This is not just they're not just going to keep coming out with different versions of the same console. So I thought that was very interesting. Not to mention, did you guys see it laying down?
Yeah.
Yes, because that was a huge point that we.
That was a huge question. I was like,
Huge question. I was
Yeah,
like,
so we're
scared.
Since we're talking about the aesthetics already, how do you feel about the diskless kind of thing?
how do I feel about that? I mean, it was a matter of time. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
Honestly.
I think everything should have a digital version of it. Am I gonna watch Blu-ray movies on my PlayStation? No. Am I going to? Are there gonna be a couple of games that I want to buy physically because just the nostalgia, and I don't know. I'm weird and I hold games that are physically in my possession to a higher regard. Like, I have Bloodborne on disc. I don't know why, but I do.
I do too.
Right? Uh,
But see, that's a big point. So I have probably like 20 like physical PS4 games.
right.
So really, it's just going to depend on like this whole backwards compatibility stuff. If they say like, hey, of course, you can play all your PS4 games, like you can play, whatever other games that they announce, if they do announce any.
Hmm.
I might need a disc. I might need a disc drive, bro.
I know, but for the person on a budget, I'm interested. No prices were given out. I of course this is going to be cheaper. Mike had pointed out probably by like $50. I highly doubt they're going to send out $100 deduction for a disk drive.
Mm-hmm.
But no, for a budget gamer, for a child, I could also see this being fine, and for a family that is watching Blu-ray, yeah, of course they're going to go
That's true.
disk drive.
And it's smarter like that if you're getting for a kid because I mean, well the non-disc one,
Yeah,
just
right.
because like it's gonna be cheaper for that. And honestly, that is gonna help with pricing, and that's just gonna help them get more people like
Hmm.
buy their system kind of thing. Because like if for somehow the Xbox is cheaper, even though I don't see technically how, because I will admit I guess the Xbox does have better specs I think, but like the specs aren't going to be that big where I'm going to give up a PS like the PS like
Hmm.
giving up all my PS games just because the Xbox can sneeze a little faster than the PS.
Right, just a little bit faster. But
Yeah,
this
it's not like game changing.
this
It's not
event they
necessarily
did not
faster.
give any specs.
I'm glad. They let the games talk for themselves.
Correct.
They were like, you know what I mean? They were like, fuck the spec war. Like this is
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
this is
So
like why we play games.
this is a great transition to the first thing I want to ask you guys. So, uh, so how I felt about the entire event personally was I thought it was nice. I thought it's probably the event Sony would have done in E3, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, whenever they were a part of E3. It's nice to have some type of conference thing happening at this time of year, even with everything going on. Um,
Apparently, that's how they marketed the PS4. Like they're just doing the same exact marketing plan. Which I mean, as it worked.
it
Considering.
it works because that's why I like PlayStation over Xbox, because I feel like Xbox always tries to be all these other things, and I feel like PlayStation just wants to play games. And I just want to pop a game in and play games. I don't need other user face things. I don't need other extra shit on my dashboard. I just want to play games. So this whole event was based on their new games. Couple of new IPs were shown. A couple of names that we'll recognize and we'll talk about here later. But Mason, how did you feel about the event in general?
In general, yeah, I just kind of echo what you're saying. Like, where I play on PlayStation to play games, like, and they showed that. I was really impressed. It was very like, you see these companies like you have Nintendo who went like a direct style, and like it was good, and you could tell like they're learning and getting better. But like, man, I think Sony really like, I think they did a really good job, especially under the conditions that like everyone's in right now. I think that they really pulled it together and showed a really slick and clean and professional presentation.
Mm-hmm. Mike?
I actually was not expecting much from the event. Like, honestly, it's most events I don't get excited on these kind of things, but like
Right.
this event, like they had a good amount of games that I did like that because usually they only show like 5, 6 games kind of thing. They're like, all right, that's the event kind of thing. It's like the last event they had, like it was more of a developer kind of talk,
Right.
which I didn't even see that event because I was like, oh, good thing I missed that one because that isn't exciting. So I was expecting like a mediocre kind of event, but they showed like a whole bunch of games, I was excited for that I know of. I mean, there's some games that I was like, okay, it's all right, but it's gonna hit somebody. Somebody's gonna like it.
Mhm.
But it
Uh,
was a really good event.
so whole event was about an hour and a half. It was All games, all games. We're gonna go through them one by one, and we're gonna go through the event. I'm gonna ask y'all's opinion on some of the games that we saw. I might skip over a few because there were honestly no. First, there were so many, and we only have an hour to
Yeah.
talk.
What was the count? What was the count?
It's like,
I don't
think
even
it was
know the
26.
count.
Somebody said something.
Yeah,
Like that.
probably 26 titles, something like that. I could
26 titles, dude.
No.
Oh my god.
26.
That
26
is
or
wild.
46? 26?
No, 26.
That's
Oh,
what I
did
thought.
I say 46? I meant
You
to
did.
say 26.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say 46. I'd be fucking asleep by. Holy shit! I'd be asleep by like fucking 28. I was even by with how many games they showed here. I was like, okay, okay, I get it.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that many. Like I said, that was a good surprise.
So the event starts and we come in. It shows us a little bit of the history of PlayStation. That was nice, a nice little nostalgic feel. They bust through some timelines that are major years in the PlayStation franchise, and then what's his name? Fucking Jim Ryan comes through. He starts talking to us. They open though with
Wow.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
That was so weird and funny to me, dude.
I was
I was
so
like, oh, are
thrown
they
back.
announcing GTA 6 here?
Bro,
That's
I
crazy.
totally
That
thought,
just
I was like,
fun.
wow, I can't believe they're really going to just... Because I thought it was like Michael talking, and then it was going to go into like GTA 6. And then they... there's a couple of things that did this too long, but they... There were a couple of things that did this, but they were sat on GTA 5 for too long. Like, I know what GTA 5 is. You can show me 10 seconds of gameplay and a little bit of, like, pan over Los Santos. I know what this is. You know, unless a new DLC is coming out, it was too long. But anybody who buys a PS5 is getting GTA 5 for free. And if you own a PS4 and you own... GTA 5 right now, every single month until the PS5 comes out, you get $1 million. I know we don't play GTA 5.
I didn't even see that. I think I was so distracted with like it was too long that I started ignoring it. I actually have the game too, so
thank you. They
That's
flashed
so
this. They like flashed this at the end, and I was like, "Why did you just show me a 5-minute compilation of GTA 5? Like I haven't been sitting with these characters for almost a fucking decade."
Yeah,
That's
literally.
funny. Okay, I have a
I was in
point.
high school playing that.
How do you guys feel about this?
Okay, so you saw Jim Ryan come in and like say, we're so like excited about our continued partnership with Rockstar. So like I think really like I think this was just a marketing thing between Rockstar and Sony's like, you know what, dude? We're gonna give you the first like 3 minutes of our event. This is gonna be like great marketing for you.
Right.
This is gonna further like build the relationship for the future. So like I'm just looking at it that way, but yeah, it was a goofy like move I thought to like have GTA 5. Like, come on, dude.
The weird thing about it is though that like GTA 5 is literally just free on the Epic Store. Like, I'm technically everybody in the world should have it right now.
Thank you. Thank you. How many times?
That's why it's just weird that it was the opening thing. I thought it was hilarious. I love the game, but I mean, I've played it enough. I've played the online enough. Like, I have enough money.
Thank you. Like, that's my whole thing. Everybody loves GTA. We know. Like, duh. We've all played it so much to the point where we've moved on to other games. How many versions have come out? How many times has it been free or on sale or something like that? And also, are we calling this the launch title?
No. Because it's 2021.
Okay.
It technically, yeah, it did say 2021 it's free.
And it's going to be expanded and enhanced, whatever.
You know what the weird thing it said it was going to be free on launch, but then it said 2021. That's why I was confused.
It was very confusing.
I was like, wait, what?
And then we see all these other games that are coming out at the end of the year.
Yeah. Holiday 2020. I don't know. That was weird too.
So we move on, right? We get over that little hump. Jim Ryan comes and talks. He says stuff like next step. He says stuff like games changing the world. You know, those quotes that developers and people say. And press conferences for video games. And then we open up with something I'm personally very excited for, and I'll talk about it a little bit. We open up with Spider-Man Miles Morales. Holy shit. Very cool to not only hear Peter Parker's voice at the beginning. Personally, I played the first Spider-Man to the point of platinuming it. I got every trophy in that game. So I heard Peter Parker's voice, and I was like, oh my god, it's Spider-Man 2. And then, you see, it's Miles Morales, and I was like, holy shit, because they teased it in the first game, and I'm just so excited to see what they do with this superhero. Mace, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, what do you think?
Really excited, but I wanted to ask you guys, is this like a full-fledged title, you think, or is this like a Uncharted Lost Legacy, like a spin-off kind of,
like a DLC to the first game?
Like not like a 40-hour experience, but more of like a 15, like.
It's like a side game kind of thing. Like, because I know Uncharted had a little side story with like his daughter or something like that. It was something where I had never heard about it until recently, and I was like, never even knew about that game. So you're talking about like that, like something that's like. But they're just no. I think because they put it in the PS5 event, that I think it's gonna.
It has, and it started off the PS5 event. Like that's their exclusive.
That was the real headline starter. Like the GTA 5 was just like a trope for them or something.
True.
Or like you said, that was just a marketing thing for Rockstar.
Also interesting, and to me, I mean, let's not get into it, obviously, but I'm going to mention that we're in a very tumultuous time in America right now, and I thought that was a really good, like, silent, like, hey, man, we got you. Like, we're trying to contribute here.
Just so we can pass over this topic now, and I will bring it up with some of the games. So this one did have and we could talk about it, did have a black protagonist, which is great. And is good. I'm glad it's something that they're focusing on, and that a game is coming out with a main character that's black. Miles Morales is a great fucking superhero. That being said, I really feel like there was a lot of female protagonists that were shown in this event.
There was. I did notice that. I was like, wow, this is cool, man. I like it.
Right, and it's cool, and it's progressive. What? Nope, that's my insurance. Is that the word I'm thinking of?
No, you're right. Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
right.
Progressive.
Okay, cool. That's all very cool. However, the joke in me and the cynic in me wanted to be like, all of these developers and all these games started making these games whenever there was some outcry about women protagonists, but we're on Black Lives Matter right now, so now we need more. And that's what that was the joke I was making. I was like, oh man, they probably started these like 3 years ago when we were all in an outrage about like women or something. And now in 3 years there's going to be an event, and it's going to be all just a bunch of black protagonists, and I'm just going to laugh.
I'm ready for it, dude. I'm ready for it.
Just wanted to point that out. So like you will be seeing, I will be mentioning that there's a lot of females that are in these games.
This is exciting for me though on the female topic. Like, this gives an opportunity for someone like Carly to like get interested. Yeah. So, like, I'm really here for it, man, and I'm down to play these protagonists. I'm tired of the white hulky dudes. Like,
I think it's very interesting because we know people that have said that they don't play games with female protagonists because they can't quote get into the game.
I have heard things like that. Even I'm like that's kind of stupid.
That it's very stupid.
You do you.
Exactly. We all know the person, by the way. I'm not. I'll say it later.
Oh no.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. And but I love, I platinumed Horizon Zero Dawn. I love Aloy as a character. I love that we're getting these new female protagonists. I'm in it for the story. It's never bothered me.
Yeah, dude.
I'm glad there's being some representation. All right. All that stuff aside, now that we got past that, and I'm glad it was going to be mentioned at some point. I'm glad we mentioned it. Moving on to Gran Turismo, Had to get the car game in there. We have Forza for Xbox, and had to get Gran Turismo in here for PlayStation. Looks great. They showed some gameplay. Again, way too long in my opinion. I don't know why we just watched the guy drive for so fucking long. I get it. And they were probably showing some stuff that I don't know about. But this is number 7, correct?
What do you mean number 7?
Gran Turismo 7.
Gran Turismo 7.
Yeah.
Yep, it looks great. Mason, what do you think? Gran Turismo.
Oh, it looks great, and it looks like we're finally going to get a dedicated career mode. Lacking, we had GT Sport, and I didn't even buy it because I was like, nah. Like, I'm at Gran Turismo for the career mode, and I will not lie, the last few have been lacking, and I've kind of like skipped them. And I'm really excited for this one because I think it's going to bring that back to where, like, you buy, like, a shitty car in the beginning, and you got to get all these licenses, and you got to upgrade and get this money and win these races to build your car. Like, I'm here for it, dude. I'm ready.
Mike, Gran Turismo 7?
See, I'm not a car guy, so... so for me, racing games, I do not like typical racing games, like real life action, like real life racing games. Like it's just normal. Like I need a gimmick when it comes to racing games. So I'm not like excited for Gran Turismo just because I need a gimmick
yourself.
with my racing game kind of thing. Yeah, it's just not my cup of tea.
Listen, it needs to be Crash Bandicoot, or you need to get out.
Yeah, exactly. yeah, exactly. I need to have a way to destroy my opponent while I'm racing.
Exactly. I can't just be driving.
I need to either be throwing a green shell at somebody, or I need to destroy a whole building, and it destroys you in the process.
Thank you. Bro,
that's what I need.
Burnout Paradise, phenomenal. I can actually blow up
Burnout. Yeah, exactly. The whole what's it called? Tail spinning people and all that, and you destroy them. Love it.
But no, exactly. I feel the same way about car games. But I know there are people who obsess over these games and are gonna love the fact that that's coming out. So kudos to them.
One thing that didn't have the event. They didn't have any type of fighting game. I was surprised by that.
I was surprised.
Very surprised by that.
I love fighting games. That's like I used to not hate them, but then I actually got good at them, and I was like, oh, they're actually fun. So I was surprised to not even see one.
PlayStation never really. I mean, what fighting game is PlayStation really known for? I felt exactly
one.
I feel like the first person.
I can see that.
Yeah, I feel like the first person story that PlayStation's so good at was really flexed in this event. I don't think they were, they definitely it was a PlayStation vibe the whole way through.
Yeah,
but moving the vibe on.
But they could have made what's it called? PS4 All Stars? No, PS5 All Stars.
I know. I thought
PlayStation
about
All
it.
Stars. There you go.
There it is.
That would have been the fighting game.
PS4 All Stars.
Bro, what out of nowhere left field that would have been.
Yeah, and everybody would have loved it.
Everybody would have fucking fled. But from Gran Turismo 7, moving on to another title that everybody with PlayStation should be used to is Ratchet and Clank. Came through the new Ratchet and Clank. Let me just say, there's a lot of cartoony kid titles throughout the event, and I gotta tell you, bro, something I noticed with all of these kid games is I forgot about the 3D audio until those games came up. I will mention that any of the kid games had great sound to it, and I really feel like this Ratchet and Clank had a lot of you heard people talking, you heard the boxes breaking, and I really feel like there's a lot of detail that they put in, not only to the sound but to the world itself, which made I love kids games that have a lot of detail to them because that there will be little secrets and hints that are going to be a lot of fun for maybe adults to find, but Ratchet and Clank is a classic, and not to mention bringing up the female protagonist, and it's all about going through dimensions.
But do you think when you say protagonist, do you mean main character protagonist, or just one of the main character, kind of like?
I think
it's still definitely what's it called, Ratchet.
Yeah.
Just because,
So they're doing the whole dimensions thing, and I assume it's going to be switching off the campaign. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mason, Ratchet and Clank Dimensions, female protagonist. How do you feel?
Oh, great. That part's great. But
Mm.
I think this main thing to show off with Ratchet and Clank here is the dimensions. Like, you saw the warp gates, man, and, like, it was, like, instantly loading these levels. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I will notice, I saw some hiccups, bro. I saw, like, you can
During
tell,
the
like, these
jumps.
things aren't done. Yeah, these things aren't done yet. And I think it's just really great that they showed them in this form.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it's gameplay. But yeah, it was really interesting to see those load so fast. Like, there's no way you could get that to happen on a hard disk drive. Like, it's just not gonna happen, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And we've heard Sony talk about this SSD, man. Well, that's our first, like, this is what this thing can do. Like, they swapped through 5, 6 levels in, like, what, 10 seconds? Like, it was crazy.
Yeah. Mike, Ratchet and Clank.
See, I do like adventure games like that. So the gameplay wise, I'll probably play it when I get it at some point. It wouldn't be something I just buy straight out. But talking about the transitions, I did notice that a lot of games like that was definitely you can definitely tell that's like the not gimmick, but like the thing they're like concentrating on in the beginning that they expand on.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'll notice in future games we're going to speak about here that like a lot of them did do those like transition big kind of things. But I did like it did feel like it did look smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Like it looked like you can tell it's a cartoon, but you can tell it's like a smooth cartoon. It's not like
Here, I have written down. I literally have written down cartoon realism.
Yeah. It was,
like,
yeah, it looked good.
like
Dude.
it was clear. Like I was looking at it, I was like, wow, this is like really good graphics for a cartoon. Like you don't talk about graphics of a cartoon because
And
cartoons are just like gameplay. That's all gameplay.
Mhm.
You're supposed to just love the gameplay on it, but it was like the graphics were great on it. The sound, like you said, the sound was great on it too. Like that's what cartoons like are good for, like demonstrating those kind of things, like you said. But yeah,
And I really thought, like, I'm looking at Ratchet and Clank, and I'm like, there was a point where I took my eye off of them, and I just kind of looked at the ground and, like, the buildings around them, and I'm like, oh my god, that fucking looks like Bioshock Infinite. That's so fucking clear. I was like,
Correct.
what? But then here's this furry fucking creature. The female looks cool. Interested to see how she's a character. It is supposed to be for a Ratchet from a different dimension, but also dimensions are kind of overplayed for me at this point. But I understand that it's a kids game, and that the storyline is what it is, and it'll be fun. And I'm just gonna go into it with a fun mind. But from Ratchet and Clank, we moved on to Square Enix came out with Project Athia.
Ooh.
Gonna mention female protagonist. There you go. This is a PlayStation exclusive, so that's something to note.
It's also coming out on PC.
Is it? Is it also coming out on PC? They had said
Yes.
exclusive, and I remember
It's
questioning.
console exclusive, yes.
That's very interesting. Jumping powers, dragons. This was
Wait, which game was this again? I'm trying to remember actually. I remember Square Enix did put out a good game. I just can't like think of it right now.
Do you have
She
your
was
phone?
like-
So
was
there were
like-
so many games.
She was
Yeah, let
like
me
jumping
look it up.
on the stone.
Oh no, okay, no, I do remember. I do
Right.
remember. But it was a pretty short thing, right?
No, it's very short. Very short.
Okay, that's why I didn't remember much from it. But I do remember like how. Wait, you guys can go.
No, it was a very short. It looked very cool. Looked very good. But again, there was really not much to comment on with this. With this gameplay.
Like you said, all I could say was it did look like it was beautiful. But I mean, like it was too short for me to even think about anything about it. But I mean, Square Enix does put out good things, so.
Always, right? Like, that's why, and I did note the developers on a lot of these because,
What was it called again?
Project Athia.
Okay.
I'm kind of refreshing my mind as well. I'm looking at the trailer. But, just to remind myself. But, the game I really wanted to talk about. In a World You Own, yep, tribute, right. Devotions will be doubted.
I remembered it all. I found it very impactful. I was excited as hell. It looks
I,
really
it
cool.
looks like a very open world, and it looks very
Graphics
cool.
are
But
beautiful.
but again, my problem, you don't know anything about the protagonist. You don't know anything about the mechanics. It was a
One
lot of
thing though,
just cutscenes. Yes.
one thing I'm already starting to notice is, we're talking about these SSDs and like we're seeing the evolution in like the speed and movement that like our characters are going to be able to move now, which is
Yes.
crazy to me that like it's evolving that way. Like I wouldn't have even thought that like that's the next big thing. But dude, there was so much motion blur on that girl. Like, oh my god, there was so
Hmm.
much motion blur. So I'm wondering, like, are we going to see a trend of motion blur, like, for next gen? And I don't know. I just kind of threw that out there.
Uh, no, that's a good thing. That's funny you noticed that because it wasn't until you mentioned about the last game that I realized how often we were seeing that. And I guess they are trying to flex the rendering, but man, I did notice those. I did notice blurs not only with her jumping, but I did notice some blurs with Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
But again, nothing's done. That was an event. That's the point of events. Uh, these are our phones. They are not the actual games, and they are not screens. And a stream
That's
is a
true.
stream, not the actual console.
That's true.
But the game, Mike and I desperately wanted to talk about. Probably one of the top tier games that we saw at this event. Developed by Blue 12, never heard of them. They made Stray. This game is basically, so we came into the trailer and it was all about we see robots everywhere, signs saying "Rip humans." Clearly, there are no more humans around. Robots are walking like humans, are living like humans. They are humans until the last 2 seconds of the trailer. You realize that you are playing as a living cat inside of this world. There was
Beautiful.
They showed no gameplay. It was only a very cool, well-designed cutscene that you're very interested in the first fucking 95% of the trailer, and then it says Stray and it's got a symbol of a cat. You are a cat. Mace, how do you feel about Stray?
I'll just say I'll play when it's like $6.
I swear, right?
Moving on.
You know, the one thing that Stray like made me notice was, at least in this event, it was like it was a variety of titles. Like definitely different gameplay. It wasn't all
Yes.
like FPS kind of things. Like not 99% of them weren't FPS. They were all like kind of special. And Stray was definitely one of the most special.
Stray was definitely, and it is gonna be a cat simulator, but they built that world so much, and that's why we're talking about it so much. They built that world to the point where we thought that was a real game. So I really want to see how they're gonna like turn you being a cat into a real game, and I hope they do. I hope it's not just some stupid fucking swan. What was that duck game? A goose, whatever.
A duck's life or something. A
Yeah, a
goose life
goose
or-
tail or something.
I mean,
But
would you rather play Mayo?
thank you,
They
like
have that
bread. I
game.
hope it's not going to be that either. But moving on from Stray, they went into some bullshit about 4K HD, ray tracing, better SSD, controllers, motion sensor, 3D audio, blah blah blah. All the specs that aren't actually specs that are just stuff. Uh,
Actually,
we moved on
that's
to
interesting.
a really cool game. Should be exclusive, developed by Housemarque. Returnal. It is
Oh.
about another. Hey, ready? Can I get the female protagonist going?
Woo!
Woo! In space, you are a female protagonist who is going through
Did
a
we catch her
death.
name?
We did not catch her name, I don't think. She's going through a loop where she crashed the ship, she gets attacked, she dies, she restarts. It is a planet that she knows nothing about, and it looks to have some of the coolest enemies, and I hope they stay that way when the game comes out. Those enemies looked super cool, the world looks crazy, but every time she reawakens, the world changes somehow, and she or you, the player, are just trying to figure out and gather clues on what's going on. I am very excited for Returnal. Mace. Returnal.
Okay, I kind of have a lot to say about this one. Okay, so we have Housemark, right? Now, Housemark is known for like these great like arcade games, like really great
Yeah,
arcade
did
games.
they make Resogun? Were they with those people? Things like that?
Yes,
Okay.
they do they're known for the twin stick shooters. I don't think they made Resogun. I may be wrong. I'm that makes me feel bad now, but
Right.
they
I'm
make
pretty
some
sure they did it,
great
though.
like twin stick shooters, and you could see that in this game. And I love that they've like taken it to the next level, and they're really developing like a full fleshed out story. It seems like, but they're like keeping it a game, and you could tell by that fluidity in the movement that like
Mm-hmm.
this is gonna be really fun. And like you mentioned again, like she wakes up every time she wakes up, like something's different. So it like to me it makes me think of like a roguelike
Mm-hmm.
where like you're constantly like going dying and then waking up and doing it again, but now it's different, and now you can get a little further and get a little more gear. Like we don't know all the details about it yet, but that looks really good. I'm really excited about it. 100%. I'm all for it.
Mike, Returnal.
I don't know. You guys said everything I was really thinking, to be honest.
True.
Because I even like even Mace was saying like I'm pretty sure what was the company's name
Hallmark.
again? Let me look it up.
Housemark.
Housemark. Sorry.
Housemark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get
let
a
me see.
list of what they're like.
I'm pretty
what they
sure
said.
Resogun was in. I did like Resogun. That's why, like Mace said, it's really weird how they like ventured out to make like this like, story game kind of thing.
Right.
It's not their usual kind of thing. So I guess it's really their first thing.
And based
that
on
we're
how
gonna
you
see.
guys are talking, I assume the combat that was shown is nothing like that is in the game you guys are talking about,
No,
Let me see.
right?
no. It still looks like it could be twin
Yeah,
sticky. But
Resogun, Housemark, and
oh, okay,
published by
good.
Sony Interactive. Yep. I did like Resogun. Wasn't it free one time on the PS Plus store, I
It
think?
was. It was.
Okay.
I think it
That's
was the
about.
first free PS Plus game.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
But yeah, that's all I gotta say about that.
Returnal.
But they look great.
Super excited about it. Moving on to they had to right. They moved on to a couple new IPs, and then they had to bring it back just a little bit. We got back to Sackboy, a big
Yeah.
adventure, Little Big
Uh,
Planet, right? And I guess it's gonna have a lot of multiplayer to it, 4-player co-op. Another female protagonist one. They put out a female of Sackboy. I guess that's his name from Little
Can you
Big
say
Planet.
it's a female though? I don't know about that.
Bro, they made
it's a
it.
sack.
It's a sack.
It's a sack, dude.
Yeah, we saw.
It's a plush toy.
This is a Little Big Planet thing. It is a kids game. It is gonna be fun probably to play with your friends. Not something I'm probably gonna be getting because I was never really invested into the Little Big Planet franchise. But that was PlayStation just like, oh, just reminding you, we got stuff that you love. Mace, Sackboy.
I- You can just skip me
I-
on this because everything you said is exactly how I feel about
Okay,
it.
right, yeah.
I'm not a Little Big Planet fan, or I never played the game, so.
Sorry. I like Little Big Planet. I love Media Molecule. I'm glad they're still continuing on with the IP.
As they
It
should.
is, what is it, Sumo Digital? Is that who's doing it?
Sumo Digital is doing this one, yes.
Okay, yeah, so I'm excited for it, man. Like, it's probably one of those things that I'm not, like, probably going to pick up on release, because I just,
It's too many other
I don't
good
really love
right,
those, like, platformers,
We're going to
but,
wait until
like,
it
I'm
comes
glad
out on
they're
PS
keeping it
Now.
alive. Yeah, for sure.
Right, because kids are always gonna want a PlayStation, and that's the game you get your kids. And I'm happy that
Yeah.
Little Big Planet. I'm glad there is some type of children's. What's the word I'm looking for? A star or
Appeal, yeah.
character to look at that
Mascot.
some type of mascot for little kids, and that would be it. But yeah, Sackboy. Then we went on to some probably some we're not going to talk a lot about. Destruction All Star. This was made by Lucid. I think it was an exclusive. I couldn't really tell. Very cartoony. It looked like a Rocket League wannabe, if that reminds you guys of what I'm talking about.
Oh, it looked like a battle royale for cars.
Very weird.
Yeah.
Very weird. You go into a tiny car. You go into an arena. You fight other tiny cars. They did show people out of the cars. It looked like it's basing a lot of its appeal on its characters and its humor, but it really just kind of seems like the same game type over and over and over again. Nothing really big kind of out of this game. What were you going to say, Mike?
Oh no, I made a comparison to it being a battle royale. I was like, if anything, they should have just made a Twisted Metal if they were gonna go with that kind of route.
I know.
Twisted
Wow,
Metal
that's a
was the
good
good.
point,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been it. That would have been the good. If I would have saw that instead of that, I'd be like, yep, that's the one. Because I love the Twisted Metal. That was even on PS3. I think was the last time I made Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's on PS now. Actually, I saw it like when I was looking at the games today, like the old Twisted Metal. Well, Twisted Metal from PS3, but that game, I mean, it looks like something I would play for free. Because I played Laser League. It was that PS Now game for free. I was like, I had fun with it, but probably because it was free.
So moving on from that because it's. Do you have anything on that, Mace?
I think it's cool. I think it's cool for what it is. I think it's really funny, Mike. As soon as you said Twisted Metal, I was like, I would have been way more excited if it would have been that. So, I mean, I think it's cool for what it is. It's a smaller studio, like, I'm excited to see, how it develops. I'll wait until I see more.
So moving on from that, because that was a very short little snippet, and honestly, who fucking cares? It'll come out for free, hopefully somewhere. Next one, developer Ember Lab. It was Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. For this one, I have can I get the female protagonist? Woo! It seemed very cool. It was a very she seems kind of the hunter type. Has magical powers. It seemed like a very beautiful world. Very beautiful world. I was thrown back by some of another one of those very cartoony games, but was really able to flex the graphics and flex the audio. I heard a lot of things in that presentation that I didn't hear in other presentations. It seems like a great, seems like Attack and the Power of Juju.
That's how I was going to tell you that. I was
thank you.
The same exact thing.
Okay.
That's exactly what I thought. I almost called him Tech, and I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. I was like, oh, it's Tack.
So, Mike, what opinion on Kenna Bridge of Spirits?
I actually love the game Tech when it was like, what was it, last time? PS2 when it came out? So it's been a bit. But I used to love that game, so if it has like that same exact kind of like spirit or vibe to it, I'm fine with it. Because from the gameplay, it seemed like one of those kind of games, just like a little adventure game, cartoony kind of thing, but looks pretty good.
Mace, Kenna, Bridge of Spirits.
I want to reiterate, like you said, it was beautiful. That was a beautiful game, and the developer mentioned like they did like film, like they're into cinema, and it looks very cinematic. It looks very pretty. It looks very well done. I love the blend of cinema and the game world. I think that's how we're really going to push this medium even further. It looks really good. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, when the thing started in the beginning, I was like, is this the actual game or is this the movie? And then they switched the game. I was like, okay, I can see it now. But you're right. They did have a great cinematic on it.
Yeah, I cannot emphasize how surprised I was by these cartoonish games and the amount of detail that was being put into them. After Kenna Bridge of Spirits, they went on to next to this one, I have noted down, what the fuck. This is by Co-op. That is the developer, K-O-O-P. It's called Goodbye Volcano High, and what? So This is what I have written down for this one. Let me just fucking roast this game for half a second. What Tumblr furry bullshit, what low self-esteem weeaboo bullshit, talking human dinosaurs. What is this story that's going to be about my high school growing pains? But it's talking dinosaurs. I am so confused by whatever the fuck this is trying to be. This is just so preteen girl, like some low self-esteem girl is gonna fucking love this game. And I am so happy for her, and I'm so happy that she found something in herself from this game. Mace, any opinion on Goodbye Volcano High?
I think you really kind of like packaged it up for me. Yeah, this is not for me. This is totally a niche market that like I'm really happy for whoever is gonna play this game and love it.
Mm-hmm.
But it ain't this guy, I'll tell you that.
Mike, Goodbye Volcano High.
Everything you said, plus I remember when that came up, the first thing I thought was like, is this a hentai game? Like, are we really going to this stage in life?
I said, what furry became a developer?
Exactly. I mean, everything else, I was like, is this supposed to be like some, like, I don't know, some fake robot chicken show kind of? This looked like same animations for, what's that movie, what's that show with the devil dog? Mr. Pickles? Mr. Pickles. You guys ever saw Mr. Pickles?
Yeah, of course.
I was like, is this Mr. Pickles hentai?
Jeez.
I was like, no, I'm done. I was like, I'm done with this. Like Mace actually, we were talking about, we were like, we do like some Japanese things, like one of the future games that we're going to speak about here.
Right.
Like, I think you know what I'm talking about, but we'll get to that. But that's definitely not the one.
Super.
Yeah, that's not it.
Super funny. After they talked about Good Volcano High, which, man, talk about an emotional roller coaster this event, because I don't even know how you bounce back from that. Then it was 2D platformer. We're not going to talk about this one too much. It was Soulstorm.
Oddworld. Yeah.
Yeah, Oddworld Inhabitants. That was the developer. No thanks.
I never played the original one. Yeah.
You know, if this comes out for $3, it'll make some bored guy happy.
Yeah. I don't like Oddworld.
I hated that they tried to make this game seem more than what it was, and then it was a 2D game. So fuck this trailer. After Soulstorm, they went on to developer Tango Gameworks went on to what a very cool new IP that I cannot wait for is Ghostwire. What was that? So set in Tokyo, Japan.
Okay, that's the one I was talking about with the hentai.
Yeah, so it's really cool. Set in Tokyo, Japan. I mean, I have written down, I have cyber zombies. I have cyber powers. This looks like a very creepy game. It looks like a very well-developed world. The only thing that could ruin this game is probably a bad combat system, which you seem to be very dependent on in the game based on the enemies that they showed and the stuff you were doing in the game. But I am super excited for this. For Ghostwire. Mace, Ghostwire.
Yeah, I'm going to echo you. I'm really excited for it. It looks really good. Art style's great. It's so creepy. I love like the creep factor in it, man. Like, and set in Japan. Yeah, I'm really here for that one. Yeah, like Mike said, hentai. Yeah, I was getting that vibe too, man. But yeah, this one's really good.
Mike, Ghostwire.
So I like horror games. Like, I just love them. Still haven't finished The Observer, but I still need to finish that one.
Right.
But it was funny because I had told Mace, like, I think it was like a month or two ago, Mace. Remember we were talking about Killer 7?
Yeah.
Doesn't it just remind, not the gameplay, but the art style kind of thing, and it's supposed to be creepy and all that. Do you know what Killer 7 is, Timmy?
I do not.
Okay, it was some extremely Japanese-ass PS2 game that disturbed me as a child. Like, so I saw this one, I was like, oh god, it's Killer 7 all over again, but it still looks good, and now I'm an adult, so maybe I won't be as disturbed. But it definitely gave me vibes for that game. If you know what that game is, I feel like it's going to be like that kind of thing. But better, because the combat system looks more Because that game was more like linear path kind of thing, like a left and a right kind of thing. I mean, you have to go back. It was all puzzles, but it does look pretty good from what I saw. And I love horror games, so.
You guys brought up hentai, and I can't, and I keep picturing that the ghost or monster or whatever that was walking, had no legs and was like walking on its giant arms, but was in a schoolgirl outfit, and I was like, yep, that's where it gets freaky.
One thing was, I don't know why they like made one of the enemies look like the Slender Man. I was like, why? Like, why did
that was very, yeah.
It was like the no face kind of thing in a suit. I was like, that's exactly Slender Man right there. Like, what are you guys doing?
I was
You
like,
know
is
that this is
there not a copyright?
Exactly. I mean, probably not, but I mean, I was like, that's very Slender Man-ish. But I mean, I guess I love the Slender Man. It was a good jump scare game.
So after Ghostwire, another game that we're probably not going to spend a lot of time on, I'm going to compare it to a couple of games, and you guys can tell me what you think about that. Developer Super Brothers showed off their game Jet, The Far Shore. Jet kind of showed off... you start your own civilization. I guess the planet went to shit, and you go into space. You start at year 0. You're exploring around. I would compare this to No Man's Sky before all the DLC and all the updates, and I would probably compare it to whatever that space game is that everybody plays, where it's like actually the galaxy.
Are you talking about that flower game?
The flying game?
Yeah, the Flower space game.
Do you remember? Do you remember Flower? That game, Flower.
Oh
where
no,
no. Oh,
what?
Well, that's what I. You never played Flower?
I may have, and I just didn't know it was called Flower.
You literally
PS3,
play it.
bro.
Yeah, wait, PS3.
Oh no, maybe I don't know.
I played it on PS4, Mason.
Well, it came out PS3, but yeah, it was on PS4 too.
Didn't know that. Yeah, but that's the exact literal thing I thought it was, because it looked like you were just playing like a little dot going on an adventure.
Right.
Or in that case, or in the case of Flower, a flower.
I have no idea why they showed this. It looked like shit, and
Flower was good.
No, not Flower. This definitely looks like shit. I don't know why they. I was really surprised that it was in the event, and literally, if they had cut it off, it would have been like 3 minutes of my time spared.
It's true.
So last couple of games, we got a little bit of time here left. Definitely a bunch of impactful games, so we'll probably go over a couple minutes. So, after that, we went straight into some good shit. It wasn't a fancy trailer. It was just they knew what they had, and they brought it. And Gearbox showed off a little bit of Godfall. Looks great. Looks great. Everybody is very psyched for Godfall. They had a rapper as the soundtrack, and it was just some fat beats going over some fucking fighting gameplay. They flashed some of the armor, some of the weapons. All of it looked very well done. I'm super excited to get into that game and into that combat. Mace, Godfall.
Yeah, it looks good. Combat looks good. It still looks like it could use some refinement in the combat, but that's fair. I'm excited for it.
Mm-hmm. Mike, Godfall.
I thought it was like you said. The music choice was really funny.
Really
but
funny.
But that brought up my thinking. Like, do you remember when we saw Godfall originally earlier in the year? Like, I felt like it had a more like serious tone, but the game just didn't reflect that kind of thing. I don't know.
True.
Like I thought it was gonna be more like Dark Soul-esque.
Yeah,
right?
It's a little more arcade.
But it looks more beat 'em up kind of game. But I don't. I mean, it does look fun. Like, I'll definitely play it eventually. But I mean, I don't know.
Not on your like top 5.
Wait, what?
Not on like your top 5 or something.
In this PS event.
Yeah.
I know it might be in my top 5. Like, I gotta re-look at a whole list so I could make a whole thing in my head to see what my top 5 would be. But I think it would be in there because I mean I do like beat 'em up kind of games, and I did I didn't play Dark Souls, to be honest, but I played. I was
Stop! We're not there yet.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I forgot that was one of the things.
Right. Yeah, I'm very interested to play this. I think we could make Godfall a lot of fun. I could see us
we
all
could.
fucking around with it and like getting really invested in getting armor and weapons.
Yeah, I'll have to play it with y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. Godfall coming out holiday, 2020. Then I can't remember this one. Oh yeah, this one is fucking nothing. Solar Ash.
Solar Ash.
I can't even remember it.
I know.
So.
Third person. The Void is calling, something like that. It looked like. Yeah, it looked like a mobile game that I play sometimes. So I really that was the type of animation. I'm not dissing the graphics or anything. There's a very good mobile game. It's not a. But the animation was just kind of simple. There was nothing. The trailer gave us nothing. I couldn't tell you anything about that, so we'll skip that one. After Solar Ash, man, talk about going 0 to 100 real quick. Right after Solar Ash, they fucking get us with Hitman 3, Death Awaits, January 2021. Cannot wait for Hitman 3. I love the Hitman franchises. I think the game, Hitman 2 and how they did it in episodes was genius. I think the multiplayer is genius. I think the people there care about the maps that they're making and are making very complex maps. The story is continued on from Hitman 2. Agent 47 is out on his own. He's in a forest. He's getting attacked by the agency. They did a great job at presenting it, and I cannot fucking wait to play Hitman 3. I will get this, and of course they're probably going to do a whole payment thing where you can pay for the whole game and get every episode or do it by episode. I will definitely be getting this. I will definitely be getting this game. Mike or Mason, Hitman 3.
Okay, so I kind of mentioned this in the chat. I sucked at these games when I was a kid. Like, I tried them because my dad liked them a lot. And I was like 11 years old, and Hitman, dude, like, I just sucked. I just didn't have any, like, strategic awareness yet, I was a dummy. Like, I just couldn't do it. Yeah. So, I need to play probably some of the later titles, and it looked cool.
They're definitely more user-friendly in the newer titles.
100% more user-friendly.
So that's all I'll say about it. It looks cool.
Mike, Hitman 3.
Oh no, I love Hitman. Like, I played every single one of them. Like, I burnt those games out. Like, Hitman Blood. Like, I would say the worst one was Absolution. Like, that was the most garbage one.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, about your episode thing, I hate the episode thing. I want it all at once. This is why I don't watch TV shows, because I need to binge watch everything. I need the whole show to end, kind of thing. I hated the episodes. I was glad the last Hitman was the last Hitman an episode thing? I thought it was all released at once.
I thought Hitman 2 was no, when it first came out, it was all episodic.
All released.
And then I thought
no. The first Hitman with Paris and all that. Paris's first map. I know that was episodic, but was one
Hitman
recently?
2 not Hitman 2?
I don't
not
think
episodic?
it was. No, I don't think so. I think because everybody hated it, which I completely agree.
I know Hitman 2 had those special events that happened at specific times, and you had to go kill a target, and you had one chance to do it.
Those were special. They still do that. I'm talking about the main storyline missions.
I thought it was episodic, but I did not get the game at lunch.
Okay, no, I think it was all at once. But okay, cool. I hated how it was episodic. That's all I'm going to say about that for all that. So I hope it's not episodic, because I'm pretty sure the second one wasn't. Multiplayer was great. I mean, wait, you have Hitman on PS4?
Yeah.
Oh, so we have to do. So we have to challenge each other.
I know, it's super fun.
I actually really did play the multiplayer. Like, it was kind of stupid, but it was fun stupid kind of.
Because you really think you really are you're how are they going to turn this into multiplayer? And then they did, and it's fucking funny, and it's really fun.
Yeah. But Blood Money, I would have to say, was my best one of the old ones. Like, I burned that game out where I knew the level. You remember that? It's quick. You remember that opera level?
Yeah, of course.
I perfected that level so much that I could kill every single target. and kill, like, do the whole like fake shoot them during the scene and all that right in time, and then kill the other guy. I was like a master at like all levels in that game. I love that game. I like mastered like every way to kill somebody.
They're
Like that's just
obsessive.
'cause I'm sick. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, it was crazy. I loved it, but
They-
and the new one, the last two were great too. I love the whole. They made it user friendly. Absolution was, but it was still kind of fun. But I'll just stick to that. I love the game.
Mace, to give you an idea, like each area has like not only like 300 ways to kill the main target, but then it has like extra credit targets that are literally just random people throughout the map, and you can like do those missions to the point where you have a map so memorized, and it you're obsessing over this area and where all the items are. It really like it has that effect on you. But from Hitman 3, okay, real quick, this is just a quick question. Whenever on the screen it said PS controller button, press the button.
That's the boot up screen, bro. That's it.
Yeah, that has to be the boot up screen.
Did you guys press the button?
What?
Oh, no, I did not.
Okay, I may have pressed the button, and the screen may have changed after I pressed the button, and I was definitely shocked for half a second, and then I thought for another half second, and I go, Tim, that was the stupidest fucking thing you've ever felt.
Oh, no, I didn't do that. So
Well, I said,
Great,
Tim,
dude.
what in your right mind thinks technology could do that? What makes you think Sony can make us do that over a stream?
hey, you never know. Maybe
Never
that's
know.
their surprise.
So yeah, did the cute little PS controller button thing, and then they went into Astro Playroom, which was a quick little tidbit. Don't even know what to make of it. I guess it's going to be a PlayStation, like...
Isn't that a VR thing?
Is it?
Like, was it?
They
I'm pretty
didn't
sure
say
that was
VR.
VR.
They didn't say VR anywhere, and
It did.
Yeah, that's what
I don't know
thought
how
was
I
weird.
feel about it.
They didn't say VR. Yeah, right? They are kind of...
Because you needed the camera for the playroom. So I mean, aren't those things from the playroom if I remember correctly?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I thought that was weird, but I don't know. We'll see about that.
Yeah, that's why I didn't think it was VR, because I didn't see anything about it saying VR. After that was a very quick, just, fun little, this is going to be a thing.
Yeah. That's for the small kids. Like, we were talking about the kids. That's for the small kids.
I do have to look up this next one to remind myself what it is, but I definitely wanted it. This one is NeoStream.
Stream.
Oh, you mean Little Devil
Devil
Inside?
Inside Me? Yeah, Devil.
Oh, was that what it was?
I think that's
I
what it's
think
called.
so.
Yeah,
That was
there
the
was a game called Little
developer.
Devil Inside.
Little Devil Inside? With
Oh,
the really cool
that's
art
and
style?
NeoStream is the one. Yes, okay. I definitely want to
God.
get this game. This
100%.
okay, I remember what it is. It is, if this is an open world game, I think it'll be so much time taken out of my day. It looked like they were doing a kind of Viva Pinata animation, but really well done, and definitely put in a different direction where you're playing as this human guy. You are taking on giant enemies. You are adventuring through this vast world. They showed a lot of different areas.
Oh, yeah.
It looks fun but serious, and I can't. I really want to see a little bit more information about this game. But if it stays on the same path, then I could definitely see us getting it if there's a multiplayer aspect to it. Mace, what do you think about NeoStream?
This was top 3 for me, dude. I loved this game. Like,
And they showed a lot.
This game looked very special and very amazing, and the combat, the gameplay, the story, the cutesiness, but like seriousness, like yeah, I'm all for this game. I'm excited as hell about this one.
Mike, NeoStream.
Is this the one that has the weird big-headed cartoon character kind of thing?
Yes, has the big eyes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't really know how I felt about that game, to be honest. I mean, I think I just need to see more about it, but maybe it was a little too... Maybe not too cartoony. I don't really care about it like that. I don't know. It was kind of weird gameplay. I don't think I got enough effect out of it. I think that was my problem, so I really don't know what to say about it.
and that's why I wrote very unique animation, because it's just not the animation I feel like you would see for the game that was being presented. I was
Yeah.
just very
Yeah, because I guess like you said, it was very cartoony-ish, but had a serious vibe to it
mhm.
because of the weird. It was like dark, like it looked like monsters if I remember correctly, or
Right.
they were fighting something. I don't know. It was a really weird game.
Few more here. Almost done. So after NeoStream, they came out with NBA 2K21, and I mean,
Looked great.
looks great. Cool. It's a basketball game. People are gonna buy it. It's stupid if they don't fucking make billions. After
Yeah, yeah.
NBA went on to Bug Snacks, which what the fuck?
What was it?
Strawberry.
Oh,
Yeah.
that game.
Yeah, Strawberry Bug. It looks like it's gonna be a cute little. I think they're kind of wanting to go for like an Animal Crossing vibe, but there's actually horrors in the world to like be scared about. More of a Minecraft feel, but it's bugs that are fruit and you can eat, and then you turn into the fruit. So that's whatever. I mean, do you guys have anything much to
No,
add to that?
I was
Looks
distracted
cute.
during that one, so I didn't really have nothing to say about it.
Looks cute. Now on to the cutest game in this entire uh,
Stray?
event. They showed off Demon Souls.
Oh,
Wow. Wow.
wow.
Wow. Mace, I'll give you the floor.
Bro, I am so
Oh, I quit
excited
by
for Demon
accident.
Souls.
Fuck.
No,
You
that's
quit
good.
what? Oh,
We can change whatchamacallit.
Oh yeah.
Eras.
Go.
I'm
Keep talking and invite me, Mike.
I am so excited for Demon Souls. It looks amazing. Kudos to Blue Point for taking the PS3 Demon Souls. This started the genre, bro. This started the
Yeah.
Dark Souls the hype train for this Souls series. This launched From Software to new heights. I'm so excited for this one to see it in 4K and hopefully 60 frames a second. Like this looks amazing. I'm so excited for it.
It looked. I wrote in the notes before they revealed that it was Demon Souls. I wrote please, because I so desperately wanted it to be that. Just watching the what they were flashing, that I
Oh,
was
I
so
knew
chills.
instantly, dude.
Chills.
I knew instantly, bro. It was it's so iconic. This is great.
Can't wait to play through it. There's 100% going to be multiplayer. We are, Demon Soul freaks. Mike,
We're playing it, bro.
anything about Demon Souls?
Mike, you're playing it with us.
Yeah.
No, yeah, no, I'm actually excited for it just because I get to actually play it because I didn't play it back then. I think I had the Xbox 360 at the time and it became free at some point and I started playing it, but I just didn't play it. I don't remember why, but at least now I get to actually play it and it's going to be remastered, so it's actually going to look very nice.
Beautiful. This next one, gonna go quick through this next one. Bethesda, very weird. Uh, Mini push out game from Bethesda. Deathloop. You are a game that should not be $30, and that probably will be $30, and will probably have
Wait,
my attention
what?
for like 12
I'd say
hours.
40. I'd say it's almost full retail, dude.
That's gonna be
Hold on, hold on. We'll get to y'all. We'll get to y'all. So, Deathloop is you are an assassin and you are going on an island to kill different targets. But there is another assassin on the island trying to kill you, and everybody else on the island is an NPC also trying to kill you. This looks like a great multiplayer game, as in like you versus somebody else. I could see myself having like 12 hours of fun with this because it is kind of the same game over and over again, from what it seems like. Also, this whole death loop concept seems to be a theme with games. Dimensions and death loops are
Because instant loading, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
right.
That's
I know.
the whole instant loading.
And then The characters, I did not get their names because it was all kind of moving pretty fast. I can only write so quick. The characters seem neat. It's a guy that you're playing trying to kill the targets, and then there's a woman that you are playing. Female protagonist. It is a woman that you are playing to kill the guy.
The assassin.
Yeah, the assassin. Mace, give me your strong, full retail price opinion of Deathloop.
I think it's going to be $40 to $60. I think it's going to be a full-fledged experience. I think it looked really good. I know Michael probably mentioned what it looked like. This, I think it looks great. I think it looks really good. I like the art style to it. It's not like super realistic, but like it looked really good. You know, like I don't know what it is, man, but like all these stylized graphics that they're showing, like props to Sony for showing it like this because it looks really good. It makes like I don't even care about realistic graphics at this point anymore because these stylized games look so great. So yeah, it looked great. I liked it.
Mike, Deathloop.
So I love niche games.
Yes.
I love Dead by Daylight. You know that.
Yeah.
Like I just love those kind of weird ass games. But you see, the weird thing is, I couldn't tell if this was a multiplayer game or just like some weird ass single player game. Because I thought Mace was gonna say it, but because it's by Arcane Studios, which is Dishonored. That's why the style looks exactly like Dishonored. The abilities look like Dishonored.
Right.
If you play Dishonored, I'm pretty sure you have.
I obsessed
And
over Dishonored, yeah.
Yeah, so you could see the teleportation is the exact like SNAM teleportation kind of thing. But did you guys think it was a single player or a multiplayer game?
I thought it was a single player until they introduced the woman.
That's what I thought. I thought it was gonna be some weird because you know that weird game, my neighbor, like where you sneak into the guy's house. I thought it was gonna be some weird ass version of that, like you're the assassin, but you're or like Nemesis in like Resident Evil 3, like something always chasing you.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be something like that, but then I was thinking this would be cool as the multiplayer, just if somebody plays the assassin, because you know I love those. Like I said, I love those weird ass niche games.
Yeah,
but I think it's gonna be a full price. Just it's I don't know. Yes, I think it's gonna be full price. It just looks like that kind of game, but I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. I think I'm pretty. What it seemed like was a 1v1 type of game.
The weird part is that's a weird balance, just because the protector, the one who kills the assassin, would have the NPCs on her side. I feel like that wouldn't be fair. That's why I thought it was a single player game.
Yeah, right.
Because...
need a little bit more just on the dynamic or the power balance, I guess.
Yeah.
Unless these NPCs are really useless, but I mean that would kind of defeat the purpose of like what they were kind of showing off at the beginning of the trailer.
Yeah, because there's a game called Space Lords. Like it's a free to play game. That's the problem with that game. It's a 4v1.
Yeah.
But the one has a bunch of NPCs, but that game's balance is so terrible that the NPCs are complete garbage. So you always mostly lose as the one person. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
After Deathloop came, wow, and I'm very interested to see what Mike has to say about this one. Village, Resident Evil.
Wow, dude. First.
Wow, dude. So, yeah, so great horror game, you know, Resident Evil. Definitely, I think they kind of have the horror genre down, if I had to say anything about Resident Evil. This looks so cool. This looked like a fun horror experience. They seem like they haven't missed a beat, bro. I think the characters are going to be fun. I think the atmosphere is going to be fun. I think horrific, and I think whatever creatures they're putting in here, horrific. Mace, Resident Evil Village.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and say that Capcom, you know, they really like started picking up steam this generation, and I think this next generation, they're about to be full force, bro. They're about to take over again. This game looked amazing. The graphics were phenomenal. Like, I was so surprised by the graphics.
Great graphics.
But this looks really good, but I'm going to let Mike kind of talk about it because I know he loves these types of things.
Mike, Resident Evil Village.
Oh, I'm a Resident Evil freak. I mean, I bought Resident Evil 3 Remake, like, on launch, like, on what, April, was it? Mm-hmm. I mean,
Yeah.
I mostly did it to play the weird ass multiplayer. You know, me and my weird ass multiplayers. But I
Right.
love the whole thing. But it's funny because today I put in the chat. I was like, who's gonna play Resident Evil 5 and 6 with me on the co-op? Just because that's just funny that happened today. But I love the games. The game looks great. I know they said that this Resident Evil is actually gonna be like the most game changing like of all the Resident Evils, and Capcom really does like change their game. Like
Mm.
Resident like it was like Resident Evil 1, 2, 3 was, you know, PS1 limited like top above camera. Resident Evil 4 is like when they really changed it, like to like over the shoulders kind of thing, and that dominated 5 through 6. And then they changed it to first person like real horror like in
Yeah.
7. So I can only imagine this one on the PS5 of all places they start is actually just going to be really great.
Mm-hmm.
And probably a really good horror experience. So if you like horror games, it's definitely gonna be one. But yeah, so
Super excited.
definitely gonna get it.
Two more here. Second to last one is Pragmata. Kind of very weird. It cuts in. You're in New York. You are a guy in what seems to be a spacesuit. Deserted New York. Very cyber feel. Little girls who are robots, cats who are robots. Everything seems to be fake. At one point, he's tracking this little girl, and he finds the little girl, and then all of a sudden, a satellite breaks through the sky. Because the sky is a screen, they get pulled into space. You find out that the little girl is, in fact, a robot helping him out and is not a real little girl. I'm interested to see where this story goes. There was no gameplay. It was all cutscenes. It's one of those, so I'm not going to get my hopes up, but it seems cool. Mace, Pragmata.
It looks cool. This was the only game that was shown to come out. They had a 2022 release date.
They did have a
yeah.
Any
2022.
other 2022s?
I could look through, but no, I'm pretty sure there were not. This
Yeah.
definitely seemed like a what was that talking animal one? Beyond Good and Evil. This definitely seems like a Beyond Good and Evil type of thing that's happening right now.
This could end up as vaporware, man. I don't know. It looks cool. I'm excited. I hope they follow through with it. But yeah, I thought it was interesting to show a game 2 years out for the launch reveal, but yeah, it looks okay. I'm interested to know more.
Mike, Pragmata.
All I gotta say about it was it gave me Death Stranding vibes. It looks like it's gonna be
Yes,
probably
yes.
a little
You know-
bit of an overhyped game that didn't get any. Like I didn't see any gameplay for Death Stranding for the longest time, and I remember we saw Death Stranding like years before it was even like released. So I think it's gonna follow that road, which is not a good road because I'm pretty sure Death Stranding was not a commercial success.
Mm-hmm.
True.
I definitely.
But
I'm
it did
glad
look
you.
cool.
I'm glad you brought up the Death Stranding vibe because I did. I really felt that.
I got that vibe too a lot.
Whenever he put the thing on his back and his arm like grabbed it, I was like, "Wow, okay, so how much?
Where's the baby?
What else can you hold?"
I mean, the good thing about it is it's probably not going to be a UPS simulator, so maybe it just might be better than even Death Stranding.
Who
But
knows?
we'll
Hopefully,
see.
it did. So last game that we're going to talk about, last part of the event, and man, they started with a PlayStation exclusive, and they ended with a PlayStation
You
exclusive.
got to.
Horizon Zero Dawn 2.
I'm excited to hear what you say about this one.
So fucking cool. So, ironically, like Spider-Man, I platinumed Horizon Zero Dawn. I love the story of Horizon Zero Dawn. I love the character Aloy. I love the world that they built. I think it is a great story, but I think it's a simple story with a lot of complex elements to it. And this new game looks like there are going to be real animals involved, and apparently, and I guess they're coming back because, of course, in the first game, all animals were replaced by robot animals to continue life. Animals look like they're back, and you what was it called? Horizon Zero Dawn: The Forbidden West. So it looks like you're going to be moving on, opening up the world. There actually seemed to be more of a world than just green grass and snow, which is mostly what the first game was. Aloy seems more confident. There's new robot animals that look more terrifying than they did before. Um, Man, what else? What underwater? You can go underwater now. The map does look bigger.
Good old ray tracing, finally making underwater scenes possible.
Possible. Other than that, yeah, I'm gonna pre-order this game. I'm gonna pre-order the largest package of this game. I have nothing but full trust in this game because something that was I talked about the first game a lot was they built there is not a lot to the game like mechanics wise, but there is such a wonderful base to add so much more. Like they really plan for this to be a trilogy game because there is so much potential for them to grow upon and to show off more of, and I cannot wait for that to happen. Mace, Horizon Zero Dawn 2, Forbidden West.
You've said a lot of what I was gonna say, man. This looks amazing. It looks beautiful. God, there's probably it's it's contender with the prettiest game shown today. It was amazing looking. I love the story. It looks so much more expansive. We finally get mounts that we couldn't do on the PS4 because just technical limitations. Like
Hmm.
we get to go underwater now. Like it. I'm really excited for this one.
Mike, Horizon Zero Dawn, Forbidden West.
So I never finished the first one. I forgot the reason why. I think there was something going on in my life that I just completely ignored it.
Hmm.
But I mean, I did like the game. I just never finished and never got back into it. I do need to get back into it, like one of these days, definitely.
Right.
So if I can finish the first one, I'll definitely gonna play. Well, I'll probably finish the first one
I'll make you
and
finish
get the
first one.
second one. But I mean, it looks great. It's a PS5. It looks great on PS5, but yeah, that's all I really. You said everything, I guess.
I know.
Oh, I have one more thing. I
I'm
have
a
one more
Horizon
thing
Zero
about this.
Dawn freak. What is your one more thing, Mace?
So, Guerrilla Games is flexing on Naughty Dog a little bit, dude. Like,
Yes, they are.
dude, Guerrilla Games could. I don't know, man. Naughty Dog better keep it up, bro, because Guerrilla Games is right there with them, dude. Like, this shit looks good.
Uh, what a good point. And I felt that. I felt that. Yeah, they are. They are giving Naughty Dog a run for their fucking money. Uh, Guerrilla Games is honestly, with this title, kind of proven to be the developer of PlayStation. I
They
mean, you
might
could
be,
definitely
bro. They
argue
might be, dude.
Insomniac, but dude, Guerrilla is fucking blowing it out of the water. And if Horizon Zero Dawn 2 and then on to 3, like it only gets better from here.
Oh, yeah.
Um, So yeah, that was the PS5 event. That's how we feel about everything that we saw. We are super excited to hear about specs at some point, and we will probably give you some type of podcast that's not a podcast because this is a non-existent podcast. Uh, this isn't a podcast. We will probably give you our opinions on that, but as for now, do you guys have anything else you want to add about the event?
I want to ask, like, okay, what's everyone's, like, out of 10 ranking? Like, what do you give it?
The event?
The whole
Yeah,
event
just
out of 10.
overall, the event.
Out of 10. Okay, so based on other, and it sucks because normally when I do this, I have other events to compare it to.
True, true.
I say overall event. I was psyched. I stayed excited. That there was only one game that I could say that I might be bullshit. That like I got that like I was getting excited over and I had to stop myself. Um, but PlayStation knows the PlayStation is good at the equation. We don't want to hear people talk a lot. We want to see games. We want to see what we're going to be playing, and they really showed that off. I'll give this whole event honestly, but based on circumstances and what we're going through now and what they have the ability to do, I'll say a good 7.5.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give them like an 8.5, man. I think
Okay.
they did a great job. They showed so many games. They showed diverse games. I still think like they're saving up like their bro games for like July
Yeah.
when Xbox does their event. I think we're gonna see Sony come back with like, hey man, we got multiplayer fucking shooters over here too, and they're exclusive and they look way better than Halo Infinite. Like, I'm excited to see the future, but overall, this event was like really great start to the new gen. I'm extremely excited. The console looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The headphones look great. Like, I'm invested and I'm ready for it.
Mike?
I think I said it already, but I wasn't expecting like anything for this event, and I don't get excited over events.
Nice.
But them just showing the PS5, I was expecting to see it next month, to be honest. So that like really boosted up there, like the whole like event kind of thing. Because I've been wanting to see it for a while. I don't ever act excited about it, but I definitely do want the PS5 because I mean it's gonna be literally game changing.
All right.
I would say about a 9 out of 10 because
0
I
out of
wasn't
10,
expecting
got it.
anything out of it. So
No.
I mean it was pretty good for me.
0 out of 10. I hear
It's
you
a-
loud and clear.
Yeah, nice. 0 out of 10. Definitely. Trash.
Trash.
Trashiest event ever to happen.
Well, thank you everybody for watching and listening to our opinions, because I guess they matter.
Damn.
uh,
We're experts.
all right.
I live in the PS4 right now.
We will see you next time. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye.
Adios.